Hello, bunny lovers, and welcome to Green Acres Lionheads. This is Beginning With Bunnies, Part 1. It's a new series I'm starting based on this book, Story's Guide to Raising Rabbits by Bob Bennett. He was a very influential, well, maybe still is, this book is a couple years old, figure in the rabbit community and worked with higher-ups in the American Rabbit Breeders Association for several years. He was also a very phenomenal raiser of tans and a couple of other breeds as well, I believe. So if you're starting with rabbits, the first thing you want to ask is, why? Do you want to raise them for meat, pets, show, or wool? You can choose any combination of these, just one, or maybe all of them, but in that case you'll need a couple of different breeds. Say you want to raise rabbits for meat. You'll probably want breeds like the Champagne D'Argent, you want Checkered Giant, American Chinchilla, which is what a friend of mine raises. Maybe like New Zealand, Californian. There's tons of meat breeds out there. You want to raise rabbits for show? Okay, there's loads of those. Lionhead, Netherland Dwarf, the lot breeds. There's so many of them. Silver Fox, Angora, the list goes on and on. You can raise basically any kind of rabbit, but the medium breeds work best for show. If you want to raise pets, cute fluffies. All the lops, Holland, Mini, English, which have really weird ears, French, American Fuzzy, again, Lionheads, Netherland Dwarfs, although it's very hard to get the dwarfs to a good temperament, so those work better for show than pets. And if you want wool, then Angoras are the way to go. You can raise Lionheads if you want wool, but that'll be more of a byproduct from when they're molting. It's not something you can harvest from them all the time. So, say you've picked out your purpose and you've picked out your breed. Okay, well, how into this are you going to get? If you're like me, you probably have a life. You have school, you have work, you have whatever. I get that. So that's why I only keep 6 or 7 cages at a time. If you've got the time, money, effort, whatever, to raise more, to make this like your thing, that's great. You can even go into commercial rabbit raising, which is not something that I know a lot about, but if you wanted to do some research on it, you can totally do that. If you want to have 3, 4, 5 rows of cages, that's great. Go for it. But make sure you've got the time, effort, money, and all that to manage it, because sometimes it takes longer to sell a litter than you think it will. And those rabbits multiply really fast if you're not careful. Even if you do keep them in separate cages, still, everyone wants baby bunnies, and you don't really realize how many you've got until it comes time to sell them and they're taking up cage space. So, there's also lots of different food and water options. You can just use bowls like I do. You can use water bottles like guinea pigs, hamsters, that kind might use. You can use an automatic watering system. For feed, you can use bowls, crocks that attach to the cage. You can cut a hole for one of those gravity bin feeders. You can give them hay, pellets. If you want to give them hay, I say Timothy hay. Don't give alfalfa hay to rabbits over about 3 months. It's very, very high in nutrients and can actually be bad for them, as weird as that sounds. And just like fresh, clean water should be fine. So you've got your breed, purpose, rabbits, cages, great. So now you need some good foundation stock. Mine were Cupcake and Smurf here. With experience, I would now tell you, get a trio. See, if I were to put Cupcake and Smurf up here on the show table, unfortunately, neither one of them is a color that's been accepted for show for Lionheads yet. Cupcake is a sable point and Smurf is blue. If I were you, do a lot of research on where you can find good foundation stock. Go to the ARBA website and find breeders of the breed that you want in your area. Look on their websites, look at the pictures of rabbits they've got, see if they have any show wins. Even if you don't want to show, it's really important to start with good stock. Find what you want, figure out what you want, do a lot of research, and once you know what you want, then get as close to that as you can. Just don't buy the first random cute bunny you see on Craigslist or anything like that. Also, get a trio. Get a buck and 2 does. That way you can breed him to both of them, and then the litters, genetic makeups will be different enough that you can breed rabbits from those two litters together, you can keep the same good traits without having to add in new blood all the time. So that'll be about the point. So say you've got your trio. You figured out how much time and effort. You've got your cage, food, water, rabbits. You know what you're doing. You know what you're going to do. Now learn everything you can about rabbits. Go to the library, search online, and I would strongly advise becoming a member of the ARBA like I am. You can go to you can win grand champion prizes at their sanctioned shows. You can register rabbits with them. You get their monthly magazine. You get tons of stuff. Very, very, very worth it. You get a lot of perks that you wouldn't get otherwise. Plus this handy-dandy guidebook you get when you first sign up. And you can buy other stuff from them too. You can get books, bumper stickers, signs, t-shirts, aprons, all sorts of stuff. So great. You've got great foundation stock. You're getting ready to have 2 beautiful litters. Your cages are clean, your rabbits are healthy, they're fed and watered, and everything looks great. What happens next? Well, what happens next is baby bunnies, which I will cover in the next section of which I will cover in the next section of Beginning with Bunnies. It's been great introducing you to these gorgeous little animals that I love so much. And I hope that if you do start with bunnies, you'll love them just as much as I do. Yeah, I think that's all. So I will see you in another video. Goodbye, y'all.